Good evening. This is KJ's What Happened. It's been a little while since we've done one of these around here. It's been a few weeks. There was a few reasons for that. One, you probably heard Chubbs. He's heard this story a million times. He just kind of meowed and walked off. But one, of course, YouTube had another big purge a few weeks ago. Around that time, they moved about a dozen of my videos over to an age restriction. So there's a lot going on, man. And on top of that, I get sick. So I just kind of laid low with the show. I wanted to try to launch it somewhere else as well. More exclusive, safer, censor-free. And at first I thought it was Roku. That was just one of the places I could put it on. It's actually on the Thescariestmovieever.tv, and you can watch it on Fire Stick and all that. Well, I did the live show. I did a KJ's What Happened there live. And then after the show is over, that's when I found out from the people that helped me set it up that the show doesn't stay there. So it's lost. The whole time me building this and setting it up and going along with it and trying to get it all together, I was assuming, I guess, that, I could do live shows there and they'd be safe and they'd stay there, but that's not the case. So kind of defeated the purpose. I'm still going to do a video there and just ask the people that are there what they think, because it's still a good place to upload things. If you didn't know, my last 4 or so videos have been off YouTube. You can find most of them on my BitChute, and there's a link below to my channel there. And some are on Instagram, but you can always find them on my website. Some of them I even upload directly to my website. So today I uploaded a new one this morning. I put a link below right now if you want to go check it out. Or check it out later. But just letting you know that I've been doing more things off of YouTube as well. So just kind of spreading things out a little bit, going to some different places. And I think it's important to do that, just plant seeds other places. So make sure you check those out. But I'll still be uploading here to YouTube as well. Okay, that's one of the reasons I did the show here now. I'm going to try to set something up probably through Twitch, where every Monday and Friday I'll do a KJ's What Happened. I'll split the show up, just because there's so much going on lately. So I want to, keep going, of course, and grow it. Mainly just get the word out, have a place for us to hang out and talk about things too. But at the same time, still kind of spreading out a bit. So I think most of you get that. Anyway, so thank you so much. All right. I appreciate it. And enough about me. Let's get to the news, if you will, if you want to call it news. There's so much going on, man. And, I'm not going to be covering a whole lot of the election madness. There's a little bit of stuff tonight, but these shows are it's kind of a mix of it all, isn't it? And tonight's going to be a perfect example of that. So once again, I want to welcome you to the show. I'm not sure if moderators are here yet or not, but always welcoming the moderators. Always a big shout out to my Patreon and PayPal supporters, guys. Thank you so much. You make it possible for me to do everything I do. So I appreciate you. And I think that'd be about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I got for you tonight. All right, this one's fun. This is a fun one to start with. Was CNN just caught on air with an adult website open? Anyway, here's the video. Maybe you guys have seen this.
Now, the county executive of Allegheny County, Richard Fitzgerald, is joining us on the phone right now. Rich, thanks so much for joining us. How many uncounted ballots do you have left in Pittsburgh right now? The county executive of Allegheny County, Richard Fitzgerald, is joining us on the phone right now. Rich, thanks so much for joining us. How many uncounted ballots do you have left?
Let's see, the update said no, so let's see what they say here. The idea was fun while it lasted, but as the tweet shows, it was clearly manipulated media. You can't blame a guy for trying to have some fun. So it is funny. Really good manipulation. Gotta love the everything face right there. Still, it was manipulated, but hey, just thought I'd throw it out there. Here, this is something that was caught a few days ago, November 5th. You haven't seen this one yet.
Collected them all. I just want to document.
We're still collecting.
How much? Wait, but how come they already called the state?
Because these are mail-in ballots.
Are there a ton in there?
Yeah.
All right. Are you collecting from a lot of places? Yeah.
cold. You can't really not. Yeah.
All right, I'll just document. Thank you guys. Are you guys official election guys? All right, and let me just ask you one thing. Where do you guys take them?
Election center. That's it.
Is that in the government building?
LA County.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there a lot more in there?
6 feet, please.
Okay. Thank you guys. I just want to see because they call their state so
6 feet,
quickly.
please.
I know. I am.
You don't have a mask either.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Are they allowed to do that?
There you go. Good times, but we already know what's happening here. And still, and you understand all the aspects, of course, Hegelian dialectic, order out of chaos, problem, reaction, solution, things like this. But still, looking at the choices, it's pretty obvious which way it's going to go. And either way, it's going to be a doo-doo sandwich for everybody, either way, in one way or the other. Because if Trump can prove it, and then we go that way, he gets probably through the Supreme Court or something. The other side's already all set up. We know a lot of that stuff's controlled. We can probably be expecting some false FLAGS. Things like this, you kind of see it coming, right? And the globalists are already openly declaring the Great Reset and Dark Winter and all this other stuff. And Agenda 21, of course, is just months away, and we know that's a big deal. And then Agenda 2030 is the next in line. But the Great Reset may be all that on steroids. Like 2030 is just kind of a red herring or a carrot, and maybe it's going to happen a lot sooner. But either way, we see it coming. We know what it is. My newest video I'm going to put on YouTube, I think I'm going to call it "The Terrors Are Taking Over," because that's what it is. That's the way I see it. And I'll show you some examples of that, where political parties, all that stuff's really not going to matter pretty soon. We'll see. And we'll see how it shapes up. I follow trends. I follow the symbols and whatnot. So I'll show you what I got. Let's check this out. Chance meeting that led to gruesome death. Moment woman bumps into her killer after getting on wrong bus before being lured to House of Horrors flat, where she was bludgeoned and dismembered. This is one of those true crime scary ones here. But, it's, of course, these almost always have some kind of a satanic connection, don't they? This is the chilling we already read that. Nathan Maynard Ellis, 25, and his boyfriend, David Leasley, 30, were today found guilty of murdering Julia Rawson, 42, at their flat in Tipton near Dudley in May 2019. The pair beat her to death with a rolling pin before using hacksaws to dismember. They then dumped the body parts in 2 different locations and burnt her old clothes in a desperate bid to cover their crimes. Jurors heard the apartment in Tipton was dubbed the Flat of Horrors. Pictures taken inside show it crammed with creepy novels, a Chucky doll holding a knife, and gory homemade face masks of characters from horror movies Maynard Ellis used to make. Another image shows a workbench covered with dolls' heads, along with tools including pliers, drills, and an axe. Wow. That's the boyfriends there. Flat of Horrors. Here's some of the pictures. This shows the dangers of people that get obsessed with horror and take it from a guy that was raised in horror. And that's why I went to film school. That's why I moved to Hollywood. That's why I wrote scripts all those years and tried to sell things. But I was writing a lot of horror and sci-fi stuff. And some really gruesome horror stuff, to be honest with you, man. I mean, I used to try to think of the scariest stuff I could. It's what most people, I would assume most horror writers try to do. But you come up with some things, Anyway, of course, that all changed. Now I'm making real life little horror movies and shows. Just some of the pictures. But you know what I mean? I mean, if you don't have an anchor in Christ anyway. And if you turn yourself over to this kind of entertainment, so-called entertainment, and just get obsessed with it, you know, the whole looking into the abyss too long. Anyway, you can get possessed by horror, if you will. But I'm glad they got caught. That's good news. It's not all bad news. Half of all contestants on future CBS reality shows, including Survivor, Big Brother, which I actually worked on that show when I worked in Hollywood, and Love Island, will be people of color, network announces. So just more of this virtue signaling. And there you go. There it is. CBS Studios announced Monday it will diversify its unscripted shows and will aim to make all future casts at least 50% Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And it's not that, I'm not all super angry about this or anything either. I mean, you get it. I can get things about it, but obviously we know this is part of a bigger agenda, and it's happening with everything and everywhere. But it's just more of that. It's divisive in its spirit, in its nature. It really is. More just a focus on our differences. You know, it's a focus on your color or your sexuality or whatever. Just focusing on things that separate us as opposed to focusing on things that can pull us together. Maybe that works some good and some bad. You know, I don't know. Meet the McPlant. You knew it was just a matter of time anyway. McDonald's is set to launch its own plant-based burger after successful trials and says meat-free chicken could be next. So this will be, I've talked about this in the past, but you know, this really will be that soylent green of our future. They want us all meeting, you know, there'll be the food shortage, of course. We know that we've seen that signaled for quite some time, a massive food shortage. I've got some other stories tonight about that. And how are they going to feed the populace? Well, they're training people, I believe, for fake, you know, produced meat. McDonald's is finally testing its own plant-based burger, the McPlant. The fast food chain today announced that it's developed its own plant-based meat substitute in partnership with popular food company Beyond Meat, and will begin testing the faux meat burger in select markets next year. Get ready. Here it comes. Doesn't even look appetizing though anyway, does it? There's the zero chicken. McDonald's joins other fast food outlets, including KFC and Burger King, in jumping on the plant-based trend. KFC launched its vegan burger in the United Kingdom in 2020. Wow. Any of our friends in the UK, and by the way, hi, some of y'all are up here with us tonight. It's always late for you, I know that, but thank you for hanging out and joining us. But have you ever had a zero chicken sandwich from KFC in the UK? Please let us know. Tell us your stories. Did you survive? Well, I guess you wouldn't be here if you didn't. There you have it. Oh, the old McRib. You know, those aren't appetizing to me. I don't know about you. Look at all that sauce. It makes me nervous. Too much sauce on things makes me nervous. I don't know why. Just want to put this one out there. Of course, we got the 33. Ellen DeGeneres unloads her Bali-inspired Montecito mansion for $33.3 million to mystery buyer, pocketing 6.3. Don't really care much about the rest, but of course we got our 33. Despite selling for 6.6 million below the asking price. Anything else in here? Oh, there's just the 33 again. Okay. There you go. That's it. Pretty place. She wasn't suffering. There for a while, she was trending, making these sad videos about how miserable life is ever since COVID. But this is the place she was? I mean, of course, most of these monsters are miserable people. But man, how many of you Would that probably make your life feel a little bit better being isolated in a mini mansion? Who knows? The swimming pool out back. Everything the world has to offer. Good thing we're not a part of this place. We're in it, but we're not a part of it. Joe Biden Crown virus advisor Dr. Zeke Emanuel once argued it's not worth living past the age of 75. So now we get into the forced suicide, or what's the word for it? Dr. Kevorkian was famous for it, for sending people off whenever they want. Assisted suicide, that's it. And it's like a lot of dystopian novels and movies we've seen in the past. I always think of Logan's Run. You ever see Logan's Run? It's from the, I think, kind of the mid-70s, maybe late 70s. Still a cool movie. I watched it again a few years ago. Kind of holds up, but it's a dystopian future movie. Everybody has these implants in their palm. And when they turn 30, they light up or they start blinking. And that means it's time for you to sacrifice yourself for the greater good. So all the people every year or every day, it all, I guess, moves around. It's different, right? But every time someone turns 30, they sacrifice themselves to the greater good. Something like, I think they all fly up into a fan or something and maybe just get sliced up or something. It's kind of weird. Anyway, there's people that have been writing about these things for years that saw these kinds of things coming, and they have manifested in reality in a lot of different ways through a lot of different terrible dictators and horrible regimes. So we'll see how that plays out. Just interesting to see some of this kind of spirit showing up. That's part of the video I'll be doing here on YouTube probably this week. It'll be up. Seeing more of that kind of spirit. That basically it doesn't matter who wins or loses at the end of all this stuff. This spirit is here and it's pushing forward, and there will be no shaking hands or working together or any of this kind of thing. It's going to be, you obey or you go away, if you know what I mean. Oh, this is a classic. And this is from the Lost KJ's What Happened show. But, this is a good one. Oregon health official announces the state's C-19 death count in full clown getup. This is real. This actually happened. Let's see if I can start it.
As of today, there have been 38,160 cases of COVID-19 in Oregon, with 390 new cases being reported today. Sadly, we are also reporting 3 deaths today, bringing the statewide total for COVID-19 related deaths to 608.
Look at the guy's face. Says it all. One more time. One more for the road. I mean, this is just, it's off the charts creepy in so many ways. It's honk honk, our honk honk reality manifesting, right? In reality.
As of today, there have been 38,160 cases of COVID-19 in Oregon, with 390 new cases being reported today. Sadly, we are also reporting 3 deaths today, bringing the statewide total for COVID-19 related deaths to 608.
I love the guy here at the end. All right, moving on. What do you think about that? It's crazy, man. God told me Donald Trump will win, and then an asteroid hits, predicts. Pat Robertson. Let's see what Pat Robertson has to say here. If it'll play. Oh, that's the deal. Sorry. Gotta pause the old ad block over here. My grandma just loved Pat Robertson, man. I'm sure mine wasn't the only grandma out there that loved Pat Robertson, but watched him and TBN, Trinity Broadcast Network. That really was the worst. I thought TBN was. It looks like there's going to be just this flood of ads, so I'm just going to, I guess, move on for now. The headline pretty much told us the story there, but he's done that a lot throughout the years. He's made some pretty wild predictions that never happened, and tried to call some events that didn't quite shape out and things like that. And I don't know. I've never been a fan of that, obviously. Then I think back to my innocent grandma and just how much, some of the older folk, they just hang on every word of some of these television preachers. And that's not good or healthy, but, you can't tell them otherwise. They won't listen. Or you also don't want to start an argument. You're just glad they have Christ. You know what I mean? We're all on different levels of understanding or knowledge or whatever else. And just be, but you also have to keep an eye on them that they don't get taken by the wolves. That every month they're giving away $500 for something, that they don't need. That's one of the dangers, of course, that come in. But TBN was always the worst. It always creeped me out. It always made me bummed out that I was a Christian. And this is back when I was a teenager, early teens. I remember feeling that way, like looking at these people on TV, and I'd be like, so that's what we are? I didn't fully understand the difference between denominations and how vastly different a lot of these churches are. But yeah, moving on. Belgians told to pick 2 cuddle contacts as country plunged back into national lockdown. Who would yours be? This is kind of a weird thing. What do you think about this? This just goes to show you how crazy the world's getting here. Everyone will be entitled to at least 1 cuddle buddy under the new rules, while those living alone are allowed 2 when the new restrictions hit. Belgians living alone have been told to find 2 cuddle buddies, it says here. Meeting anyone else must be done outdoors and only in groups no bigger than 4 from Sunday. Belgium has had at least 392,000 cases and 11,300 deaths, making it one of the world's worst hit countries relative to its small population. The Prime Minister said, "Our country is in a state of sanitary emergency. The pressure is immense, as you have undoubtedly seen in recent days." Wow, these people. They're salesmen. At the moment, there is only one choice, and that is for all of us to support our healthcare sector as much as we can. We have to limit our physical contacts as much as possible. He added the measures are a necessary last chance bid to get the figures down. All non-essential businesses will be forced to close in the latest measures to tackle the bug. Restaurants and bars were already shut this month, and other services, including hairdressers, will be forced to close too, turning these places into third world countries, man. Right before our eyes, just shutting it down. It's setting everything up for a one world system, right? Workers will also be ordered to work from home. All right. So anyway, I guess they all get a cuddle buddy. We get it. They're probably going to need one. Some of them. Dominican Republic considering moving embassy to Jerusalem. What do you guys make of that? Announcement by Caribbean country that it's looking into move follows phone call between FM Ashkenazi and his Dominican counterpart. This was released on Halloween, 31st October. The Dominican Republic is looking to move its embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The Caribbean country announced Friday in a statement that the Dominican Foreign Ministry touted the country's long-standing ties with the Jewish people, noting Jews first began arriving on the island in the late 15th century. It also highlighted the Dominican Republic's granting refuge. Did I say that right? Refuge. Oh, man. To several thousand European Jews during World War II. Dominican Republic previously had its embassy in Jerusalem until 1980, which the statement said was a factor it was considering in whether to return its diplomatic mission in Israel to the capital. The development came after Foreign Minister Gabi Ashkenazi, that name, spoke by phone with his Dominican counterpart, Roberto Alvarez, according to Hebrew media reports. I don't know. What do you think it means? I know this much. Your earwax could reveal how stressed or depressed you are by providing an easy way to measure the amount of cortisol in your body, study claims. Experts from UCL and King's College London discovered that the stress hormone in earwax was relatively stable, and so they created a new device that could take a sample and test it quickly, cheaply, and effectively. The new device can be used at home without clinical supervision, allowing for medical checkups while maintaining social distancing. Yay! Due to you know what. It may also have the potential to measure glucose or C19 antibodies that accumulate in earwax. Yay! But also they're getting used to getting us all in that mindset of being a patient and always testing yourself in one way or another. Am I right? See where that's going. Can't fool us. Guatemala reverses course. President says he will not tolerate planned butcherhood in his country. From November 6th. While the U.S. has been rolling over okay, we get it. We already know what's happening there. Guatemalan President Alejandro Giammetti, a doctor and retired surgeon, announced the decision this week, explaining he's opposed to the organization's stance on, you know what, that operation. He says, I recognize life from its conception, and therefore in my government, I will not tolerate any movement that violates what is provided in our political constitution of the Republic, that goes against the values with which I was raised and that conflicts with my principles as a doctor. Giammetti said in a statement Monday, I am a faithful defender of life, and I am empathetic in stating that I will not endorse in my government the creation, registration, or startup of any organization that goes against life. I think that's obviously to be applauded. Isn't that wonderful? It doesn't always have to be stories of evil rising up and evil doing things and evil winning. I mean, it's time for us all to stand up, the good people too. And we are. Many of us are. Some people are just waiting to see what they need to do, what they'll be called to do, whatever it is. Standing up doesn't mean being violent and dangerous or anything like that. It just means letting our voices be heard, spreading the truth. Hopefully bringing people to Christ. We all have different ways of doing that. But that's what it all comes down to now anyway. And we have different ways. I've always been a bit different in my approach. I even feel shy about it, about the whole, never wanting to be a preacher, pastor, nothing like that. And it's true, because I'm not that. That's not what I'm cut out to be. There's plenty of people out there that are doing good work doing that. Some people aren't, but that's a whole other story. We just know what time it is. It is a dividing time. Christ is the way out. It's the key. And that's what we're seeing, man. So we are seeing some people on the side of Christ standing up. And it's awesome. It's awesome, ain't it? Christian ministry sues bank over claims of religious discrimination. It's from today. A Christian ministry in Northern Ireland that offers therapy to people with unwanted same-sex attraction is suing a major bank for closing its account over the group's faith-based release. Michael Phelps of the religious legal group Christian Concern told This Is Money he believes Barclays Bank is discriminating against Core Issues Trust, the faith-based ministry that grants support to those voluntarily seeking to leave homosexual behaviors and feelings. This is about the belief CIT holds concerning sexual orientation, that it's not necessarily innate or that you're born with it, that it can change over time, and that change can at part be, that's the way it was written, affected by therapy that you undertake. All right. Understood. Yep. Well, we've been seeing that battle coming for a long time, and it's just one example of it. This is pretty weird. The human orc tattooist has tusks fitted to complete his look as a fictional monster after undergoing huge range of painful body modifications. No, that's Ellen DeGeneres. That wasn't him. There he is. Whoa. Man, let me read this. Is that tattooed? Like his face is tattooed like that? It's also when I see this, and I've mentioned this on other examples. We've seen these kinds of stories before, this extreme body modification. But even here's a really good example of that. It really is just showing the Xing out of humanity, or that this guy has chosen that hive mind that's rising. You know, the tares are taking over. I have to save this one. And people are turning themselves into beasts. I need to do a new video on that too. I did one a while back called What Are We Becoming, but it was a little different. It was also about extreme body modification, but mainly in females. But there was a few men, kind of trans, I guess, or I don't know how they would identify in that video, but that's a whole other thing. I'm rambling. But I've seen more stories on men doing things like this really extreme stuff. They look like monsters. Some of them obviously try to look like demons and creatures, but they've completely sold out to that side. You know, they're not looking for Christ. They're not looking for light. They're a part of that spirit that's come to steal, kill, and destroy. That being said, I don't know this guy, and it could be the sweetest guy in the world. You know, when you first look at this, that's just kind of my first thoughts. And there are obviously tons of examples where there's people that do extreme modifications and lots of tattoos who are amazing people or who are with Christ. So you can't always judge a book by its cover. I was just saying that's kind of my first impression when I see something like this exactly. It's like, wow. As I said, though, you know, could be great dude. I don't know him. It just, I don't know. Whoa. No, that's not him. But still, right there. Then there's the whole thing. Some people just want attention. You know, maybe that's a part of it, of course, for some of these people. Perhaps it's some kind of a narcissistic thing, or extremely antisocial also. And who knows what the whole psychosis or psychology is with some of these people. And like I said, you know, you can't always judge a book by its cover. We know that. While Orc is proud of his unique appearance, he admits his family and friends are not quite so accepting. He said, I was raised in Campo Grande by my parents. My mom doesn't like it. My dad tolerates it. My friends find it weird. But that won't stop Orc from continuing with his love of tattoos and body modifications. He said, live, be happy, travel, love, do whatever you want. Life goes by fast and death is certain. And I feel like I've seen that kind of similar message with a lot of these folks with the extreme modification too. You know, these seem to, of course, you know, do what you want. You know, that's a part of it. But they also have the, you know, live life, be happy, you know, do your thing. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Huh? Now even the Vagina Museum refuses to use the word woman. This is where we're at now, folks. London attraction is hit by backlash for labeling abused Polish women as people with vaginas. Jeepers. People expressed disbelief at a museum dedicated to vaginas chose not to use the word woman, with one calling it ludicrous. I was going to say ludicrous. I don't know why. The comment came as artist and photographer Alexandra Karpowicz. I wonder if that's the lady that did she do the fashion show in the was it a Freemason lodge or a church? She did a satanic fashion show in a church a few years ago. I don't know if it's the same lady or not. Was handed access to their Twitter account in a takeover to highlight the current situation in Poland. Demonstrations have spread across the country after changes were made to Poland's hardcore operation laws. Well, there's your satanic lightning bolt over the one eye, the obvious. So, beast system, got it. Check. Pointing social media users to Karpowicz's account, the Camden Museum wrote, "This is a takeover by A. Karpowicz to share with you the abuse of rights that is happening to Polish people with vaginas." Goodness gracious. Okay. Got it. Man, I thought this one was really, really interesting. It's from October 22nd. Still wanted to share. I haven't talked about this a lot lately, but over the last few years, I know I've mentioned it in some of my live shows, that I believe in grounding, and I even have like grounding gear in my place. You got to check your outlet to make sure it's grounded. If it is, you can plug this thing in and have just like a bracelet, just kind of keep it on your arm if you're on the couch working or on your desk or whatever. I guess you're not on your desk, but working at your desk. Some of you might work on your desk. I don't know. But anyway, I've been a believer in it. It's just something I've been doing for a few years. I think it's great. Best way is just all natural. Get out there barefooted when the weather's nice enough and just walk around in the grass, the dirt for a while and just connect. Anyway, I thought this was cool. Daycares in Finland built a forest floor and it changed children's immune systems. Oh, and by the way, the grounding thing, I thought it was hippie new age stuff at first 2 years ago. I didn't understand at first. It's not that, if some of you are worried about that. At least it's a real concept. It's a real idea. Just like anything else, some people in the new age and all this will take these concepts and go with it in other directions. Like the whole law of attraction. You can find proof of that in a sense in the Bible. There's proof of this idea of us being kind of co-creators of our own reality with the way we speak, watching our tongue, the way we think. But it's not so much like laws of attraction. So that's the world's way, or the beast system way, of taking that concept that has some truth in it and then perverting it, and making it for money and for just gain of things in this world that rust away and fall away, right? So, and self-focus and all that, self-hypnosis. Do you see what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing with me. There are concepts. I believe there's a natural energy from the earth that God placed there, that it's there. It's the reason, we didn't always have shoes, folks. People lived just walking on the land for years and years and years and survived for a very long time and were healthy. And it was after shoes that a lot of our disease started, the big stuff. You should look into this if you didn't know. It's interesting. But it's when we lost that connection. So playing through the greenery and litter of a mini forest's undergrowth for just 1 month may be enough to change a child's immune system, according to a small new experiment. When daycare workers in Finland rolled out a lawn, planted forest undergrowth such as dwarf heather and blueberries, and allowed children to care for crops in planter boxes, the diversity of microbes in the guts and on the skin of young kids appeared healthier in a very short space of time. Compared to other city kids who play in standard urban daycares with yards of pavement, tile, and gravel, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds at these greened-up daycare centers in Finland showed increased T cells and other important immune markers in their blood within 28 days. We also found that the intestinal microbiota, there we go, I knew you could do it, of children who received greenery was similar to the intestinal microbiota, I got it, of children visiting the forest every day. Cool. I love stuff like that. It's kind of a long article. I don't want to read the whole thing. Anyway, cool. Police in British County to break up family Christmas dinners, commissioner says. The police commissioner in the English county of West Midlands announced this week cops could break into homes and split up family Christmas dinners this holiday season. Do we have any friends out there listening familiar with this area, West Midlands, tonight? If we think there's large groups of people gathering where they shouldn't be, then police will have to intervene, David Jamieson told the Telegraph. If again, there's flagrant breaking of the rules, then the police would have to enforce. Wow. I suddenly got a flash of a Clockwork Orange on that. It's not the police's job to stop people enjoying their Christmas, he continued. However, we are there to enforce the rules that the government makes, and if the government makes those rules, then the government has to explain that to the public. Jameson didn't stop there. The country's furlough plan, which ensured workers placed on leave during the pandemic received 80% of their income, is set to expire in November. The police commissioner said he's sitting on a, quote, time bomb, waiting on a financial assistance to run out. We're getting very near the stage where you could see a considerable explosion of frustration and energy. he explained. Wow. Listen to that, what he just said there. We're getting very near the stage where you can see a considerable explosion of frustration and energy. He explained things are very on the edge in a lot of communities, and it wouldn't take very much to spark off unrest, riots, damage. But that first sentence really stands out. Stage, right? Stage. Getting very near the stage where you can see a considerable explosion of frustration and energy. A considerable explosion of energy. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Election program issue tallied only 2 votes for GOP candidate. There's our number. 33 Michigan counties thought to be using the same software. Let's check this out.
What does this iconic childhood video game have to do with
Pac-Man.
eliminating arthritis?
I remember Pac-Man.
Studies show.
Oh, okay. I think we got it. It's one of those where it's just music and we have to read. All right. The 33. Got it. We know so much of this is set up. Of course. Judicial Watch finds 1.8 million, quote, ghost voters in 29 states, warns of dirty elections. Check this out. I was kind of talking about this earlier. Antifa gearing up for false flag violence disguised as Trump supporters. It's from November 3rd. With merchants in Democrat-run cities boarding up their storefront windows, the possibility of serious urban violence is well understood. As horrific as that could get, ask anyone who lives in Minneapolis, the progressive fascists appear to have a plan in place to make it even worse, disguising their rioters as Trump supporters in order to make the case that DT truly is a dictator that must be violently overthrown if he wins or arrested and prosecuted if he loses. A source that has always been reliable was able to photograph the flyer. And there's the flyer, if you can see that. Let me take a drink of water here real quick. On November 4th, it says, don't forget to disguise yourselves as patriots, Trump supporters, wear MAGA hats, USA flags, 3% insignias. A convincing police uniform is even better. This way, police and patriots responding to us won't know who their enemies are. And onlookers and the media will think there are the Trump supporters rioting. So it happens to turn popular opinion against us. Oof. Surely people wouldn't be stooping to do things such as this, right? I mean, it's you gotta fight fair, right? You gotta fight fair. We gotta fight fair, right, guys? What makes all of this that we don't want to fight? We know what this is all about. It's all about inciting. You know this. It's an interesting show, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. Oh, what's this?
So,
oh yeah, this is a good one. Check this out. It's a good point.
if Joe Biden, the hope of the people who hope to take control of a government they believe they own, if Joe Biden were to lose tomorrow, what would happen exactly? What would his supporters do? Lisa Booth has been thinking about this and reporting on it for quite some time. She's a Fox News contributor, senior fellow at the Independent Women's Forum, and she joins us tonight with a preview of that unhappy possibility. Lisa, great to see you.
Hi, Tucker. Great to see you. Well, I do think Joe Biden will lose tomorrow night. I actually think Donald Trump is going to win this election. And what that's going to do to the Democratic Party is accelerate the rise of extremists that we've already seen underway since Hillary Clinton lost in 2016. So now you're not going to have just one establishment candidate that lost in 2016. You're going to have two establishment candidates that have lost. And look at even where the Democratic Party has come since 2016 alone. Medicare for All was considered outside of the mainstream in 2016. Now that's been normalized as just a normal, regular policy position of the left. But I think what is even more dangerous is it's not just socialism and not just socialist policy positions that the Democrat Party has embraced. It's extremist and it's violence. I mean, we're seeing that with either the direct embrace or the tacit embrace of extremist Marxists that are out in the street burning the American flag and setting cop cars ablaze, and Democrats who either embrace it or refuse to condemn it. So this is going to accelerate the rise of extremists in the Democratic Party.
I heard Mayor Ted Wheeler today. I read him say that the real threat we face is from white supremacists and other right-wingers raging through our cities this week. I hear a lot of people saying that. Has anyone called them on it? I mean, that's so demonstrably insane.
Well, I mean, they can't because the media is on side of the Democratic Party and they're essentially propagandists of the left. There is no truth anymore in the media. So you're not going to hear that. You're actually going to see the media carry that falsehood and try to draw false equivalencies between Trump supporters and these, anarchist Marxists that are out in the streets trying to destroy law and order in this country and our country as we know it. Look, we know Washington, D.C. isn't boarding up because they're worried about Trump supporters taking in the streets. They're worried about the continuation of the violence we have seen. And I think the great irony of what's going on right now, Tucker, is that the Republican Party is actually expanding. The Republican Party is becoming a big tent party. And I think Donald Trump is going to win more with blacks and Hispanics, working class voters. And the Democrat Party is narrowing. It's the party of extremists. It's the party of totalitarians that don't accept anyone if they don't bow down to that mantle and the altar of this, violent extremist left.
Hey, what's going on there? All right, there we go. Scientists discover bizarre hell planet. This is from CBS News. This is from 4 days ago. Scientists discover bizarre hell planet where it rains rocks and oceans are made of lava. Lava. Space Watch. You were watching Space Watch.
So you think 2020's been tough? It's been tough to live here on Earth. Well, there's another planet outside our solar system that makes Earth seem really nice right now. The scorching hot planet named K2141b is hundreds of light years away from us, but according to a new study, its oceans are made of molten lava, winds reach supersonic speeds, and rain, well, it rains rocks there. Scientists say that this bizarre hello exoplanet is one of the most extreme ever discovered.
Welcome to CBS This Morning. I thought Dave Chappelle edgy.
Wormwood, maybe? What do you think? Mysterious radio signal is coming from inside our galaxy, scientists announce. Fast radio bursts, or FRBs, last only a fraction of a second, but can be 100 million times more powerful than the sun. Despite their intensity, their origin remains largely unknown. Now astronomers have been able to observe a fast radio burst in our Milky Way for the first time ever. As well as being closer than any FRB ever detected before, they could finally help solve the mystery of where they come from. Scientists have had trouble tracking down the origin of such blasts because they are so short, unpredictable, and originate far away. It's clear that they must be formed in some of the most extreme conditions possible in the universe, with suggested explanations including everything from dying stars to alien technology. There's this, here it is. The bursts of radio energy appear to have come from a magnetar, if I said that right, or a star with a very powerful magnetic field, the scientists who discovered the new FRBs said. They were able to confirm that the blast would look like the other, more distant FRBs if it was observed from outside of our own galaxy, suggesting that at least some of the other blasts could be formed by similar objects elsewhere, too. There's this great mystery as to what would produce these great outbursts of energy, which until now we've seen coming from halfway across the universe, said Kiyoshi Masui, assistant professor of physics at MIT. This is the first time we've been able to tie one of those exotic fast radio bursts to a single astrophysical object. And the rest is science talk and big words. But still, I thought that was interesting. Seems like there's a lot going on out there. Here's another one that's interesting. Earth keeps pulsating every 26 seconds, and no one knows why. Why is Earth pulsating every 26 seconds? What is 26 meaning in the Bible? I wonder if that's anything. Why is Earth pulsating every 26 seconds, and why can't scientists explain it after 60 years? This is an enigma wrapped in a periodically predictable mystery motion. It could be a harmonic phenomenon, a regular seismic chirp caused by the sun's energy, or a beacon drawing scientists to its source to begin a treasure hunt. In the early 1960s, a geologist named Jack Oliver first documented the pulse, also known as microseism, according to Discover. Oliver, who worked at Columbia University's Lamont Doherty Geological Observatory, Man, this is a long title. This guy's got a title. Hi, where do you work? The newspaper. Where do you work? At Columbia University's Lamont Doherty Geological Observatory. Ugh, okay, cool. Like, I'm already exhausted by that conversation. Since then, scientists haven't spent a lot of time listening to the pulse and even finding out where it comes from. A part of the Gulf of Guinea called the Bight of Bonny, Discover says. Some researchers think the pulse has a kind of prosaic cause. Under the world's oceans, the continental shelf acts as a gigantic wave break. It's the boundary off the very edge of, for example, the North American continental mass, where the highest part of the plate finally falls off into the deep abyssal plain. Scientists have theorized that as waves hit this specific place on the continental shelf in the Gulf of Guinea, this regular pulse is produced. All right. And more theories, big science words. Rogue planet found floating through our galaxy, scientists say. It's from October 29th. Let's close that. Astronomers have found a rogue planet floating through our galaxy untethered to any sun. The free-floating world is slightly smaller than Earth, making it the smallest such planet ever to be found. But it could be one of many such rogue planets in the Milky Way, and scientists have suggested they may even outnumber the stars in our galaxy. Such planets are impossible to see using traditional techniques, since by definition they do not orbit around a sun and so cannot be spotted by the dimming they cause when passing in front of stars, and they do not give off any radiation. Instead, the scientists took advantage of an astronomical phenomenon known as gravitational microlensing to spot the planet, which revealed itself by bending the light of more distant stars. The result was an effect that is much like a giant magnifying glass, which brightens light from a background source star to reveal the presence of the massive object. Gravitational microlensing is only possible when an astronomer's telescope lies in almost perfect alignment with the observed object and the source star. That is rare. If astronomers were only looking at one star, they would only have one chance every million years to see it using such a technique. Wow. I'm trying to pronounce this guy's name. I'll just say Przemek Mraz, a postdoctoral scholar at the California Institute of Technology and a lead author of the study published in Astrophysical Journal Letters, said, chances of observing microlensing are extremely slim because three objects, source, lens, and observer, must be nearly perfectly aligned. The researchers examined data collected from microlensing surveys of the galactic bulge. Whoa. Did I just say galactic bulge? Is that right? Or bulgy? I don't know. I know it's not spelt like bulge, but isn't bulge B-U-L-D-G-E? I don't know. Which is the central part of the Milky Way. Galactic bulge is the central part of the Milky Way. They used the 1.3 meter Warsaw telescope at Las Campanas Observatory in Chile to gather the data. The researchers said the newly detected planet is the smallest rogue world ever found, with models indicating it may have a mass somewhere between Earth and Mars. Wow. There you go. What could it be? Wormwood, maybe? Astronomers find the moon's long-lost twin, Large rock that broke off from our satellite 4 billion years ago, spotted hiding behind Mars. 4 billion years ago? Really? The long-lost twin of the moon has been spotted trailing behind Mars, according to a new study. This was from the 3rd of November. It's like 6 days ago. 3,280-foot wide asteroid called 101429 1998 VF31 was first spotted 22 years ago, and new analysis reveals it is strikingly similar to the moon. Scientists from the Armagh Observatory and Planetarium in Northern Ireland used the European Southern Observatory and the Very Large Telescope to study the space rock. The lead author of the study, Dr. Apostolos Christou from the AOP, believes it is possibly a chunk of moon that was dislodged by an enormous impact during the solar system's formative years around 4 billion years ago. Do you think it's 4 billion years ago? However, while the origin of this rock may be lunar, the research teams say it's also possible it could have stemmed from the Martian surface. 4 billion years ago. Okay. But still, there's a lot going on up there, isn't there? It's a lot shaking up there. Could that be a UFO? Mysterious light moving across the night sky stuns residents in Chinese city. I just wanted to show the footage. Probably some company bought this. I guess whoever's playing it right now, and then they put their music over it, and that's how they, that's how they get you. Anyway, cool footage though. There's a lot going on up there. Well, this is a little lower, but still, there's been a lot going on in our skies for a while now. Definitely been increasing. There's a story. It's the mystery of the footage I could never find, but I think I've got the story bookmarked. I'll talk about it when I get there. I'm pretty sure I did, but it's a mystery that took place recently, and I found the story like in tons of places online, but there was no footage of this. Some of the stories promised footage or footage seen of or footage captured of this, but I guess on election day in the UK, the skies were purple, and they changed colors to red or something. I mean, something weird happened. I'll see if I get the bookmark up here. We'll see in a little bit. Anyway, there you go. A little UFO action for you. Russian scientist believes Earth is an alien experiment. This is just something I wanted to share. I really don't want to read this whole article, but if you're interested, because this is a type of programming I've been seeing coming for a long time. I've put in a lot of my videos. I'll go more in depth on this story in a video, because this needs to go into something I'm working on anyway, because that's still a part of it. The whole alien thing. Keep your eyes on, quote, space, right? But you can just put that in a search engine, Russian scientist or whatever that was, and then you'll find it. Mystery of the platypus deepens with the discovery of its biofluorescent fur. I thought that was cool. Did you guys ever know about that? Look at this. Platypus. What a strange creature, huh? I was kind of hoping there'd be a video here. A video or more pictures. It's not. All right. I guess we kind of get it. Like I said, I was hoping there'd be some video. Check this out, though. The recent discovery has not been found in any other monotreme species, and it has scientists wondering, have we been overlooking an ancient world of fluorescent fur? Now look at this and here. Biofluorescence has now been observed in placental New World flying squirrels, marsupial New World opossums, and the monotreme platypus of Australia and Tasmania. So perhaps on some level, that's why this story, that's part of it, is your new world. You're a new world. Who knows? I still think it's really cool looking. I wonder what it'd be like to have one of those as a pet. I have kind of a Doom Break video coming up here, somewhere up in there. And it's, you'll see, it's this person and their pets, and it's really, really, really cool. Maybe this is it right here. No, this isn't it. They caught a body double. This is before the election. They caught a body double of Kamala.
Hi guys. That was good to see you.
Thank you so much.
That's not Kamala Harris. That must be. Doesn't even look like her. That's not Kamala Harris.
You guys were her sorority sisters?
That's not Kamala Harris. It looks nothing like her. Very deceptive to the voters to send body doubles out. Very deceptive. It's a fake Kamala Harris.
There you go. This is weird. It's from 2 days ago. Red tide. Mystery as rivers in Russia turn blood red and animals refuse to enter the toxic water. Let's watch the video. If it'll play. I'll have to pause the block on there probably and try it again. We'll give it a second. There we go. Something's happening. Oh, we got an ad. Hold on. Peacock. What's Peacock?
By advancing science,
So many new apps. I can't even keep up.
for the greater good. You ever get the feeling like you were
Heroes. You guys remember Heroes?
extraordinary?
The first season, maybe 2, I thought was pretty good, and then something happened. Something went terribly, terribly wrong. But yeah, there was some fun stuff in Heroes. This has been happening since 2012. This is one of those weird anomalies I first started looking into myself years ago. And it's still been happening, man. Obviously, right here. We'll see if it happens in more places. Because there's always something, maybe something is being leaked in. There's always that one possibility. You'd hope most of these people would try to figure it out or find the source, if that's the case. But this is an anomaly that's been happening for years now, years. I got some videos from probably back in 2012 or 2013 about it. So it looks like some different areas, doesn't it? Because there's no snow on the ground on this part, right? Didn't look like it. So maybe it is in some different places. Further down, and there's snow there. Wow. There you go. There you have it. This Brazilian pianist uses bionic gloves to play. Like something from the future. Or transhumanism. There's a part of that too. There's always happy-go-lucky stories, and it is good to see. There's some of this technology is great for some people and wounded veterans and just wounded people in general. And there have been some really great leaps, and some great things are happening. I think that's also part of the slow conditioning of all of us, of humanity, into this kind of stuff. I think most of us understand where it leads, not somewhere good for the masses, but in individual cases, absolutely, sure, right? I mean, it can definitely do well, do good. Acclaimed Brazilian pianist had not played with 10 fingers since he lost the use of his right hand in a 1995 mugging in Bulgaria, but today he has returned to play his favorite Bach thanks to bionic gloves invented by industrial designer. The guy's name is Bizarro. Uberiton? Bizarro. I may be pronouncing that wrong. When he showed me the gloves, I joked that they were for boxing, not to play the piano, he said. The gloves have rods that made the fingers spring back up after they depress the key and allow him to continue playing. It's cool. Kind of nice to see a video on that. Guess not, NBC News. All right, there you go. Klein Vision. Get out of my way. Klein Vision vows to have flying car on market next year after first sorties. Slovakian developers begun 50 flight test program and bid to certificate. Is that right? Road to air design? Why am I having a problem with that? And bid to certify, I would think. Certificate. The decades-long dream of certifying the first, or certificating, I'm just going to go with it. The first flying car could be moving closer to reality with the first airborne sorties of Slovakian developer Klein Vision's air car. Look at this. It's wild. The company believes it can have a production version of its design, which it claims transforms from road vehicle to aircraft in under 3 minutes on the market by the middle of next year. Wow. Isn't that cool? Oh. I guess I can watch. Oh, what's that? Freemason symbol. I thought there was a little sun flash or something too. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay. I'll keep the music down. We'll just kind of... Whoa. Gotta admit, wouldn't that be... I think that'd be cool to try. You know, once it's safe, like really completely safe. Wouldn't that be kind of cool to try? Am I the only one over here that would try to fly a flying car someday? Wow. Cool. Man, you know that would be so fun. Look how high he's getting. So cool. Wow, nice shot. I want to get all that there. Looks smooth, huh? Like, wow. Who knows? Maybe we'll be flying cars around pretty soon. You may have to have the mark of the beast before you can do it, though. So I guess I won't be flying any cars unless I steal them. Michigan entrepreneur creates world's first mobile bowling alley. This is just so wild. Look at this. Mobile bowling alley. A Michigan-based businessman has created the world's first mobile bowling alley by converting a 53-foot semi-truck trailer into an exclusive entertainment center on wheels. Inspired by popular companies such as Amazon, Uber, and Grubhub, which relied heavily on convenience to achieve business success, a Detroit entrepreneur decided to bring bowling to the masses instead of the other way around. To this end, Terrence Jackson has been working on converting a 53-foot semi-truck trailer into a mobile bowling alley for years, but due to several obstacles he had to overcome, the 2-lane facility was only unveiled last month. Cool. Got the big screen back there. Got your bumpers. Huh. Here's a little video, it looks like.
I came up with the idea of mobile bowling after a long career of the conversion industry, converting marketing and entertainment vehicles. And I realized to have an authentic bowling experience, you have to go to a bowling alley, and why not bring it to your desired location or doorstep? This is the world's first mobile bowling alley, and we're built right here in Detroit. The bowling alley is made of a 53-foot conversion trailer that we actually designed specifically for this type of setting. When you come in our facility, you will see a luxury bowling alley that you can connect via Bluetooth to our state-of-the-art sound system, and also our theater we have available. And you'll be able to control all the temperature inside while you enjoy the ambiance. Our lanes are a scale down, with they're about 25, 30 feet long. Our balls are a little bit smaller, scaled down 3.5 to 4 inches, but you can still get a great strike out of it. When you come into Luxury Strike Bowling, you will get a luxury interactive experience. You can actually bring whatever beverages you desire on board and enjoy with your guests. We're a totally different concept from the traditional bowling alley.
What do you think? It's quite the hustle, I'd say. Man, if I saw a bowling alley cruising through my neighborhood, I think I'd play. Why not? Right? I haven't been bowling in a long time. Oh, this is the KGB Espionage Museum. It's the website. If you ever want to see some really wild stuff, especially some of the weapons they talk about, and like spy recorders and things like that. Oop. Just throwing that out there. It's not run by the KGB, as far as I know. It might be. I don't know. It's just something I found somewhere else, thought it was interesting. They have exhibitions. There you go. Oh, what the heck is going on here? Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, video. Sorry, man. I think I had too many video tabs open here. Pause this site. This is a video. As de Blasio allows tens of thousands to protest in the streets, he's going after single mother business owners in red zones.
No, I have 5 children. I'm a single mother, and I have 0 income coming in right now. And everybody else is open, and I'm not allowed to be open.
Right. Well, that's something that you can make a complaint.
I know. Well, it's very nice. He's not paying my bills. He won't do anything for us.
I don't know. Have you made a complaint?
Of course, we're always making complaints.
All right. Can I just get your name so they know I spoke to you?
Just more of that forced breakdown of society, right? Happening in obvious places in America right now. I think I can play that one. Surveillance shows Antfarta attacking church that houses homeless. Scares the you-know-what out of a sleeping man. Let's check this out. I guess there's no audio on this one. They just open up the door to the church. First the statues, then the churches. We know that. It's part of it. So at the end of all this, it's going to be us. That's what all this is for. The spicy, well, let's not say, we're going to have to deal with, that's a whole other story altogether, but it's just best to be with Christ, be connected to the Creator, know He's got us. He's going to take care of you, can take care of us. Give us the eyes to see clearly what's going on, much more clearly than those that don't, at least. This spicy New Yorker tells de Blasio exactly how most New Yorkers think of him, so this should be interesting. Let me refresh it so I can play it big screen. Why do they keep pushing that video there?
Fucking rat scumbag, fucking fag. You're in the wrong fucking city, you fucking scumbag. Oh, it's your fucking mask off, you fucking scumbag. Fuck you. Fuck all you motherfuckers. De Blasio, you're a fucking cunt rag. Fucking rat. Fuck out of here.
There you go. I forgot there were so many F words. I probably should have given you a warning there, but I kept the microphone pulled away. I think we got away with it. I thought this was classic, just some of the dumb things you see in politics and government. Canadian Parliament have an argument over the use of the word fart. So you can count this as one of our doom breaks.
Why does this government treat Alberta like a fart in the room that nobody wants to talk about or acknowledge? That is where my constituents have been at with this government for over a year. As I'm giving this speech, there's Liberal members across the aisle that are laughing at me. Yeah. And they're laughing at you.
The honourable member for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Interrupt my friend in her speech, but I heard her say a word that I know is distinctly unparliamentary, and I think she may want to withdraw it. The word was F-A-R-T.
Are you serious, Mr. Speaker? Like, is my colleague actually serious? I just gave an impassioned speech about supporting Alberta jobs, and that's what the leader of a political party stands up and has to say. No, I don't withdraw it.
Decorum is important and respect is important to this place. I remind those who are now heckling me that you are breaking the rules of this place when you do so.
In dealing with unparliamentary language, the Speaker takes into account the tone, manner, and intention of the member speaking, the person whom the words at issue were directed, and it goes on.
Yeah, we get it, sir.
Decorum is important.
Nice
and respect
robe of
is
Saturn.
important to this place. I remind those who.
Woman opens emergency exit on the airplane for fresh air. Oh. Whoa. Look at that. Not smart. Said she needed some fresh air. Store owners in Kings Beach dealing with bears coming in and eating whatever they want. And this was posted yesterday.
A series of surveillance videos show the crazy confrontations between bears and people inside this Kings Beach gas station convenience store over the past 3 weeks. This one, dated August 30th, shows a bear lying on the floor eating candy and crackers. This video shows a bear inside the store August 12th, followed by a customer swatting the bear's backside. And this video from August 29th shows an employee trying to prevent a bear from entering the store until the bear makes a quick move forward, lunging at the employee, who quickly backs away. That employee is Paul High.
It was kind of scary, yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
High says this is not what he signed up for.
Not in the job description, no, not at all. Fighting off bears was not in the job description.
But it is now.
It is now, apparently, yeah.
And it's not only at the gas station store. This video shows a bear inside a Safeway supermarket. It's one of the same bears that has become a frequent customer inside Kings Beach businesses. And Bryant with the Bear League has reached out to both the gas station and the grocery store about how to prevent more of these interactions.
The bear should not be going into buildings where there's people and someone could kill him or shoot him, or the Department of Wildlife could kill him.
Wild encounters captured on video.
Oh, they're definitely smart.
Bold bears.
Wow, that's some scary stuff, though. You ever had a bear encounter yourself? I've seen them from far away and never actually had an encounter. Oh, this one's not wanting to let me play either. Oh, okay. This was very last minute election type stuff I threw in for people who are interested, but this just happened just before I started the show. If you hadn't heard about this, wait, here it is. That now Biden's down 259, Trump's still at 214, but something flipped. because of a vote count or something. Anyway, I just saw it last minute, just posted this. So, you know, grab the popcorn, right? Pastor who blamed premarital sex for C-19 dies from virus after calling it a warning from God to non-virgin brides. Classic corruption in these big churches, right? Let's see if that'll help.
I was thinking as I was putting all this together in my mind about the sin of fornication. And I thought about the term fornication. I did a little research. There are 7.5 million unmarried couples living together in the United States. This is not worldwide, just in America. 7.5 million couples. That means 15 million people that are living together unmarried. And that's increased over the last 10 years by 138%. Now, in addition to that, I hope this research is not correct, but I got it straight from the encyclopedia. It says that 5% of new brides in America now are virgins. That means 95% have already committed fornication. Now, God says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. No fornicator, no adulterer, nor effeminate, nor abuser of themselves with mankind, nor extortioner, nor drunkard, none of these shall inherit the kingdom of God. If we think we can just ignore God and live a sinful lifestyle, well, we cannot do it. And, you know, I believe what you're saying, that God may be using this as a wake-up call. This coronavirus may be a privilege, because I'll tell you right now, there's a much bigger judgment coming. It's in the Bible.
Yeah, we know. Pastor who blamed premarital sex for C-19 dies from virus after calling it a warning from God to non-virgin brides. It's just how some of this stuff gets twisted and all that. You know, you see the levels. I mean, they tell you some truth, and then plus he's connected with the Jim Bakker show, and he's definitely another one that's of concern. There is some really good prepping food you can get out there. One of my only sponsors I've had now for probably the last year at least is a food prep place. It's My Patriot Supply, and y'all have seen it with other YouTubers and websites and everything else. It's all over the place out there. But I have some. My family has some. I've eaten it. It's good. It's got a 25-year shelf life. Good stuff. The reason I bring that up is Jim Bakker sells this stuff that is just, wow. It's like gruel. I don't know. It looks terrible. He's selling these big, I don't know how big those things are, but these big plastic containers. They're probably like 3 feet tall. And some of these things are just filled with, soup, or filled with runny looking beans, or some of their kind of just gruel. Some of their kind of just, you dip a ladle in it. I mean, you got to dip a ladle into this stuff, and then they pour it into a bowl and they eat it. It's terrible. It's almost laughable how ridiculous that stuff gets. Some of these people. Moving on. A couple videos I'm looking forward to showing you guys. Oh, here was something really wild. Bizarre theory about Melania Trump's eye-watering U.S. Election Day outfit. Anyway, there's a picture. There you go. Let's close this. So here's a C theory I just stumbled on myself over the last week or so. I found in different forums people talking about, but the day of the election, Melania wore this blockchain. Some people think it's handcuffs, but she wore this blockchain-looking dress, and there's a whole story out there that they have blockchain technology. Several months ago, they put that on the ballots in these certain states, preparing for what's coming. we'll see how that materializes, how it all plays out. But I just thought that was an interesting one going around, that, that maybe she, people are saying, she knew, she's in on it and was forecasting, but it's whatever. It's the kind of stuff we talk about here. You never know. You never know. Handcuffs, I don't know. Here's some of that spirit I was telling you about. Watch MSNBC says Trump supporters need to be leveled, and if there are survivors, we'll do it again. But this is kind of that spirit, I'm saying it. Let me do this. Save that there. Watch this.
Entertainment
This is a spirit. We see it in a lot of these people.
organization that has a news outlet would hire these people. I also want to echo something that my friend EJ said. It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors, if there are people who weathered this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me, I've made it through. And so up and down the ticket, federal, state, local offices, the country has to repudiate this. This has become a dysfunctional anti-government party. That is not what the country wants and what it needs. And the proof that entertainment organization that has a news outlet would hire these people. I also want to echo something that
Okay, we got it. But the point is, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier, it's the terrors are rising. They're taking over. And the only way out for anybody is through Jesus. Remember, I'm not a preacher, pastor, none of that stuff. It's very simple. It's a free gift. You're given a free will. Even after, you still have a free will, to choose how you're going to follow. Are you going to continue in the sinful ways in this world, and sin leads to death? All sin does, ultimately. Or are we going to give a lot of that up? I mean, it's a process, and it's personal, and it takes time. It's different for everybody. I just say at least get started. You're still on the fence. You don't have to start going to church, even if you want to. That's cool too. Maybe you do. Maybe you need that in the beginning. That kind of community. It's a good idea. Or an online church at this point. Get around other believers online. If it's the only way you can, that's fine. It's 2020. But that's it, man. The terrors, they're showing themselves. That's the spirit in that woman. It's in a lot of people. And it's come to steal, kill, and destroy. Something to watch for and see what happens, how this plays out. Apparently they're planning a 1 million-person march for Trump. It's going to be November 14th. 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, so I'm doing my next KJ's What Happened on Friday, so maybe we'll have some news on that. We'll see how that turns out. This is something just a little clip I threw in a video I made earlier today. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. If you missed this, the last 4 or 5 videos I've done over the last few weeks have been off YouTube. I've still been making videos. You can always find them on my website. There's a link below. Who is KJ Osborne? Find them on BitChute. Some of them are over there. They're on Instagram. Website's always the best way to check. They're also on thescariestmovieever.tv. But this is a little clip I threw in. And there's also a link below to the video if you want to watch it, if you haven't seen it yet. It's under the player right now. Here's a little clip, though, about Biden's eyes. This is one I remember talking about way back when it happened. This is from June 2013.
Or legal status. It describes the way we're made.
Just watching his eyes. Look at that. And then he does a couple of good shots here. This guy that made this video of other people's eyes. And then he goes to Joe's. I thought he did. I guess he didn't. Okay, it's a different video. I used clips from. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. This is pretty wild. This is in Italy. Mass civil disobedience by shop and restaurant owners who are defying 6 p.m. lockdown imposed by the criminal Italian government. And people are cheering this and saying this is the way to do it. But all these people just said, forget it. We're going to go out, enjoy our night.
Scusate, altro brevissimo filmato per farvi vedere il vero esempio di protesta intelligente. Ore 18:10. Lucca è tutta aperta, piena di gente, i locali sono aperti tutti. Questa è la protesta intelligente che va fatta, senza spaccare niente, senza distruzione, senza violenza. Eccolo qui. Trichete trachete, guardate che bello. Guardate che bellezza, questa è la protesta vera, intelligente, fattiva, bellissima.
That's how you fight a lockdown. All the people come together to say nope, not going to comply peacefully. Just do it.
Tanta gente, eccola qui, guardate che bello, guardate. Questa è la mia città, questi sono i giovani.
Good stuff. So here's this right here. We already see the dividing line there. We already see the potential of what's coming, the bad stuff, the bang bangs, the boom booms, the violence. Either way, right? Either way. But this one here, and there's going to have to be, that's what I was saying earlier with this. What we're dealing with is a spirit that's come to steal, kill, destroy. It's just going to keep going. So what do you do? What's your answer for that? How do you stop this? If you have to go through things, deal with it, how do you combat that? Well, some people are already getting ready for something like that. And that's an individual deal with everybody as far as I'm concerned. I've got my own feelings about things like that. But it's good to have it figured out for yourself, because we can see this kind of thing coming on here. And, mostly the mainstream media will usually report this in a bad way. No matter what kinds of bang, bang, boom, boom happens, most of the mainstream media, including Fox News, will be telling us that it's these guys, And then I haven't investigated this. I haven't watched video footage of this or listened to these people's words. So, there's always possibilities. Some things are being arranged and created, obviously. Here's one. Trump supporters rally in Phoenix against Biden's victory.
If I took another step back, I would be in the street. And really tall. You guys know?
Pretty calm protest compared to the other things I've seen from the other side. All right, we got it. Now here's one that's interesting. We'll see what's going to happen with this. This is a little compilation of different truckers talking about an event that's coming. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what this is all about. Decide for yourself. November 29th, it says.
When truckers were the most important people in the world, because we were bringing your toilet paper and your gas to heat your house. Everybody was howling at night for the first responders, because we've been out here in the middle of this pandemic this whole time, bringing you shit. And how do you thank us? You close down the restaurants that we eat at. Okay, we can deal with it. Then you close down our rest stops. Now in Wyoming, they're talking about not even plowing the highways this winter because they can't afford it. And to top it all off, 70 million of you guys voted against the trucking industry, against first responders, against oil and gas. We ain't got to forget this shit. You already have, but we won't.
We'll be holding a union truck meeting tomorrow, and we're going to be talking and discussing all kinds of viewpoints about everything. I have 178 trucks. I stocked my complete fleet. They are all parked. Every single one of them are owned by me. There will be no CDL drivers driving my trucks at all. I will shut them down if one of them even turns on. And I have the power to do that. So, welcome to your answer.
This is for all my truckers. Shut them down. Park them. And watch American people squirm. Trump 2020. They'll crawl like little bitches. Because they don't have nothing.
A lot of truck drivers, a lot of people who are in or have something to do with trucking, oil field, one way or the other. As of now, the word is November 29th. November 29th, we park them and we don't move. I know it's pretty close to Thanksgiving, right around that time, but November 29th is the day we take this country back. Spread the word. It's our time. We say what happens. Y'all be safe out there. Shit's about to get real. But November 29th.
November 29th. We'll see. 20 days. About 3 weeks. Okay, here's a really great, I think it's a great doom break. Check this out. Look at the way this animal responds after. It's like he waves him goodbye or something. It's cute.
Ah, eu vi bicho, eu falei, gente, o que é isso? Põe na árvore, põe na árvore. Ela é muito mansinha, mas se alguém não vê, e eu com medo, eu falei, vou mandar pra
Maneirinha, né? Valeu, tchau.
Valeu, tchau. Olha
Tchau.
que gracinha, meu Deus. Olha que
Oh, looks like he's smiling.
Olha só, cara, que maneiro, cara. Ela agradece. Maneiro.
Don't you want one? I mean, of course, not really. It'd be really hard to care for something like that. Just to like pet one, it'd be fun to pet one. All right, since we're doing the doom break with animals, there's one I've been waiting to show you guys. Let me see. Whoa, way down there. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Check this out. This is a great one, man. It's fairly long, so we can't watch the whole thing, of course. It's like 21 minutes long. I just subscribed to this guy's channel recently when I found this. Hey, look at his subscribers, 111,000. Just noticed that. I always see that 111. Now you guys can see it with me. Mobbed by raccoons. This is one of those videos. It just came out November 3rd, 6 days ago. It's already got over 1 million views. I know why. I can just sit here and watch this over and over and over again. So we'll watch some of this. This is a good little doom break for us. Check this out.
Holy smoke. Get out of there, Connor. All right, I'm just going to put the, that's the only way I can get out. All right, just look. Wall to wall raccoons. Not even try to count them. Okay, I'm gonna go over there and sit on the bench. Oh, stop! Oh, they're really going at it. Look. See, it's snowing out right now, and the temperature's low. Look, those grapes are gone. That whole bucket, just in 2 seconds. All right, guys, come on. Let's go. You ready? I'm going to sit in the snow-covered bench. Holy smokes. Oh, my God. Yes. 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 I'm wall-to-wall raccoons. You ready? Let's go. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is crazy. You know, there's got to be 30 raccoons at least. I don't know where they all come from. Oh my God. Yeah, they all love me because I got the food. Yeah, and I got Buddy hanging off me. Yeah. Here you go. Ready? Here you go. There you go. Are things settling down? I got 8 pounds of hot dogs here in this bucket. Woo! Things have settled down finally. Holy smokes. Yeah. I gotta get 2 hands going here. Yeah, they're all, yeah, I'll tell you, see, they're really, really super hungry because of the cold. And it's -6 right now, Celsius. So it's below freezing.
They're so cute, aren't they? They seriously remind me of Chubbs.
So they,
He's not near that big, but he's just kind of got that chubby little body, you know? Nice little pillow.
traffic is, the 2 bridges are closed in Halifax.
I try not to sleep on top of him. You know, let's just clear that up. I definitely don't sleep with my head on Chubbs. Check this out, though, man. Look how they just go crazy. Look at them.
Yes.
My last live show, I put my microphone out the window. You could hear the raccoons out there griping with each other, but they're all over the place out here, too. They've been on my porch. I've always been concerned about approaching them, though.
At Walmart. Look at this. Holy smokes. Everybody's starving. See, it's nature telling them they got to get this food in them because they're not going to be able to eat after the, you know, once the temperature starts dropping. Right, well, it gets below -5 for a while. They won't be out. That's about 25, 24 Fahrenheit. Ready? Man, oh man. This is crazy. Here. Oh my God, buddy. Take it easy. Grabs a hold of me and hauls me back. Here. Here. Look at this. This is crazy. There was 8 pounds of hot dogs gone. Look. And 2 bags of grapes gone. I got what? 5 hot dogs left. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. That's all there is. I'll have to cut some more. Here. Oh my God, they're ripping my coat and everything. Here. Talk about overwhelmed with raccoons. Yeah. Here. And they're getting whole hot dogs. There's no halves. There's no halves. They're getting whole hot dogs. I gotta put the dry food up now. What are you doing up here? Huh? What are you doing up here, Sammy? Look at that. Look at that big tail. Look. That big tail. Yeah. Here you go. And we got a cameraman up there. See, it's snowing out, eh? It's, my hands are frozen. Here.
There you go. If you want to check that out, I highly recommend it. It's great. He feeds them a bunch of other stuff, too. He brings out cookies, and I think that's a bunch of cookies. James Blackwood, Raccoon Whisperer. You want to check that out. Mobbed by Raccoons. Just released it 6 days ago. More of the mail-in ballot stuff, we already know. We get enough of that every night, right? Here's this kid, Keemstar. He's really well known on YouTube. He does Drama Alert. Just figured I'd share. There's some of you out there that care about this kind of thing. It's always a mix, right? Anyway, check this out.
It's been a hard-fought election. Over 70 million votes for Trump. Over 70 million votes for Biden. It's clear with the results that Biden has won. You know, Trump has talked a lot about the silent majority. But clearly in this election, you are the silent majority, and you voted for Biden.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey. Okay, we get it. I didn't know that. I call him kid. He's probably close to 40. But still, there you go.
Whoever.
Oh, yeah. This is just... I'm glad that it's finally becoming so obvious, you know, how tilted Fox News is now and how it's gone. But look at this. This is on Fox News.
Whoever is decided to be the president, remember, just because CNN says, or even Fox News says that somebody's president doesn't make them president. So I think everybody wants to know that this was done properly and legally.
What is happening? Like Trace, we called it.
And I think we have to look into every one of these concerns.
Yeah, and I think... Yeah, and I think Cleta makes a very good.
Whoever is decided to be the president, remember, just because CNN says, or even Fox News says that somebody's president doesn't make them president. So I think everybody wants to know that this was done properly and legally.
What is happening? Like Trace, we called it.
And I think we have to look into every one of these concerns.
There you go. Fox News. Fox News. Fox News. Long time ago. I mean, it still has to me, I still watch Tucker Carlson and this lady Linda, or is it Linda Ingram? And I did watch some of the Judge Pirro every now and then, but you know what's crazy, man? They actually canceled her show or pulled it last week. I didn't put a story up on that just because, you know, why are you watching Fox News? But it's only just a couple people on there, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. You gotta pick and choose. It's not just all out, you know, throw the whole baby out with the bathwater, if you will. So there's a few of them I'll still watch. But yeah, I mean, just Fox, I don't know. We showed it here probably, a year ago or so when Fox sold out to Disney. And ever since then, it's been incremental changes. And now it's just full on, just like all the rest. You know, it's total beast system, except for maybe a few people on there.
Police department and Cabrillo. And so now she's been labeled a human. Yeah. So her dog was, because her dog is a service dog and was listed as a student at Cabrillo College, correct? Yeah. Her dog was listed as a human, registered to vote. So you called them, right? Or you contacted them that your dog got a voter registration, and they said, what did they say? They said that she had already voted. So your 2.5-year-old Labrador mix had already voted. Yeah. Who'd she vote for? I am not sure. You better vote for Trump. I am really not sure who she voted for, but yeah, it was listed as a mail-in. I had a little trouble finding her through the voter registration because I didn't know the birth date they gave her. Oh my God. This is just... So I had to look under social security number. And how old did they have her listed as? She was just 18. So she was listed as 18. What's her actual age in dog years? She's in dog years. So 2.5, right? She's well, I don't mean dog years, but like if you took your dog to the vet and they asked you how old's your dog, how old would they say? She was born in 2017. Okay, so she's 2.5 to 3 years old. Yeah. They have her registered as an 18-year-old college student at Cabrillo who voted. Maggie Magoo Vela. Your dog voted. Yeah. So they registered your dog to vote. Yeah.
There you go. Some of that. Time magazine debuts a Time to Heal cover featuring your favorites. Bo Jiden. Pfizer says early data signals C19 vaccine is effective. We'll see. Well, I'm not going to see. I'm not taking it. I was sick for almost 2 weeks and never once worried about, do I have it or whatever. I'm not going to go get checked. I'm over my cold mostly now. It's just a little congestion and I'm okay now. But yeah, that's the last thing, any of you should do, in my opinion. Not telling you what to do, what not to, but I would just be very leery of that. It's like I used to feel and still do, used to warn about a long time ago with all of that DNA companies when that started becoming really popular and people were willingly submitting their DNA to different companies. I see the purpose. I see there's a purpose there, and a lot of people have, I'm sure, great things have come out of some of that, but it's like anything else in this system. As time goes on, it gets bad, corrupted. Twitter confirms Trump's account will no longer receive special protections starting January 29th, will be censored for violations. Huge breaking news. It's from yesterday. 132,000 ballots in Fulton County, Georgia have been identified, which are likely ineligible. We already know all this. I know I told you I'd throw a little bit in here. This is classic. Check this out.
You Antifa? That's what I look like. You Antifa? You Antifa? That's what I look like. You Antifa? You just hanging out? You just hanging out? Hanging out. I live right here. We don't like motherfuckers like you around here. Like little fucking assholes that look like they want to start a fight. Yeah, live right here. There's a bunch of us who live right here. We're not taking your shit. So I don't know where you're from, but we don't want you right here. All right, thank you.
President-elect Jiden announces Crown Virus Task Force made up of physicians and health experts. Don't even want to watch it. Something I was looking at earlier. CNN's Jake Tapper tells Trump staffers concede or get blacklisted. It's another example of what I was saying earlier. Is it's not going to be any, hey, let's shake hands and be friends, talk it out. We're beyond that point with a lot of these people by their choice. Oh, shoot. Just a short video, but I thought this was an interesting one. It's only 10 seconds.
You can't turn that quick.
6 seconds.
No. It's so weird. The plane will make a big circle like that, You can't turn that quickly. No. It's so weird. The plane will make a big circle like that,
Oh, that could be a vapor trail. Who knows what that is? I haven't seen white ones.
The plane will make a big
Even they're trying to reason out what could cause that.
No. It's so weird. The plane will make
Crap. It's not letting me do some of these YouTubes here. Oh, UFO video from November 3rd. Cool capture.
That is not a star. It's a fucking thing.
You're calling it?
Yeah.
It's going crazy.
Oh, it's gonna be one fucking thousand of you. That's still a fucking thing.
But I can't see it by eye now.
Good. Oh,
You can't see
yeah.
him anymore.
Yeah.
Good capture, huh? Self-described Dem Party worker, Michigan resident who bragged on Facebook, I work for Wayne County, Michigan, and I threw out every Trump ballot I saw. Tens of thousands of them, and so did all of my co-workers. Now says it was a joke. Anyway, apparently this guy posted that. And there's such a backlash that down here, he had to bet. Oh, wait, here we go. Facebook user screenshotted his message and wrote, "This fool needs to be arrested in fair election work from a self-proclaimed Marxist." The guy responded, he didn't refute. And he says, "Why do they always say self-proclaimed Marxist? You can just say Marxist." Here's him saying, "Time to come clean. I work for Wayne County. Threw out all the ballots." Anyway, we get it. We didn't cover a lot of that, did we? A little bit of that stuff, but not much. All right, man. Now I'm back. Let me jump over here and put a little backdrop up. Jump over here and say hi in the chat room real quick, and just say, hey, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the show. I talked earlier about all the changes and everything else and what's going on, but I'm planning on doing a KJ's What Happened on every Friday and Monday. Maybe try that for a little bit, just because so much is happening lately. I've got a video I should have finished up this week before Friday. I'll post it on YouTube. I mentioned earlier I've been uploading the last 4 videos or so, maybe 5 off YouTube. Check out my link below for whoiskjosborne.com. I'm posting them on BitChute as well. I've got a link to my BitChute below. Also a link to my Discord. If you guys are looking for a chat room to hang out, click the link below to the Discord. Don't pay attention to the message that says it's expired. Click the blue button anyway. Look over on the left-hand side at the next screen that pops up. Click chat room, and you'll be in there. It's that simple. It's free. Check it out. Got some sponsors below. If you want to check out emergency food supplies, we've got a great deal with my Patriot Supply down below. Also check out the free Brave browser, totally free. Also, you can get off of Google, gets you onto DuckDuckGo, which is awesome. Also got the scariestmovieever.tv down below. Uploaded my newest video earlier today there, so you can check it out there as well. There's other things going on there as well. Still working all that out. And that's it, man. Otherwise, just want to give a big shout out to my Patreon and PayPal supporters, guys. Thanks so much for being with me all this time, and your support means everything. I appreciate you. If anybody out there wants to support my work, there's links below for that as well. And also want to end just on a short prayer, guys, if you don't mind. Heavenly Father, wowzers. We know this world's going crazy, but most of us, I can only speak for myself and a lot of the people I know, but most of us are giving it over to you. We're letting go at this point and letting you take over. We know that you've got this either way. You've got us, no matter what happens out in the world, in this world, we know you've got us. So thank you. And please, Lord, just be with everyone out there, especially those who are really worried and concerned these days, and help to alleviate that. Just guide them to a more peaceful way of looking at all this. And if you have something special for them, Lord, of course, just lead them in whatever way you need to. I'm sure you will. And that's it, Lord. I love you. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I never said I'm the most eloquent pray guy, but hey, I'm trying. Hey, man, listen, guys. Oh, and also a big shout out to the moderators as well. I see the moderator here now, too. Guys, thanks once again for being here, man. I really appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful week. Don't worry. Don't live in fear. Remember, fear doesn't come from the Lord. Fear comes from the other side. And let's see how things roll out, okay? I'll see you on Friday for sure. And should be a video up this week here on YouTube. All right, guys, take care, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.